Right now in 10 News this morning, a San Diego landmark closing. Why In Cahoots says they're being forced to shut their door.
Mocking the destruction, outrage in Northern California after recovery workers post offensive images of the campfire aftermath.
And the world's best. We are live from La Jolla Shores where the finale of the ISA World Adaptive Surfing Championship gets underway today. 10 News this morning starts right now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Happy Sunday, everybody. It will be 8 o'clock in just a few minutes. It's December 16th. I'm Mary McKenzie.
And I'm Jim Patton. Great to have you here. Let's get started with Melissa and a check on our weather this morning. Wow, that's spectacular.
Yeah, it's already mostly sunny here as we start off our Sunday morning. This is a live look overlooking the 94 from downtown. Right now, our current conditions here, it's a cooler start. We're looking at 54 degrees. The sun is up, sunset here at 4:45. Now, you can see from our satellite and radar, yeah, mostly clear, a little bit of cloud cover, some parts of the coast. But check this out, no cloud cover there in Fallbrook. This is from one of our weather watchers, Susanna, who sent us this beautiful photo from earlier this morning. Now take a look at our 3-day temperature trend. Along the coast, we are going to rise in temperatures over the next couple of days. So we can see that there in the mid 60s, and then we're going to be in the 70s. But check out our inland valleys. It is going to start to heat up as we continue on with this week. So do be prepared for a warm up coming up. Taking a look at today, we are going to reach 70 degrees by our lunch hour there along the coast. It's going to be near the mid 70s by 2 p.m. So another sunny day here. Jim, Mary.
Mel, thank you. Many San Diegans will recognize this spot here. Popular country bar now forced to close its doors at the end of the year. In Cahoots in Mission Valley became a safe space also for hundreds after the mass shooting in Las Vegas. Survivors would meet up to process the anxiety and pain of living through that deadly night.
You know, without them and without that place to heal, you know, hundreds of people in San Diego, it'd be really different. So, it's a special place.
Well, In Cahoots management confirming that the bar is closing New Year's Eve after 26 years in San Diego. The owner tells 10 News the building and the land were sold and their lease was not extended. In a statement, he says they're only temporarily homeless and hope to find a new location for that bar soon.
And we are watching breaking news here out of Japan. More than 40 people injured during a restaurant explosion. You can see the pictures here. This is from the Japan Times showing the devastation. This happened within the last couple of hours in Sapporo, which is in northern Japan. More photos here posted on Twitter also shows the fireball as crews work to clean this all up. The AP is reporting here that most of the injuries are mild, fortunately, with at least one person, though, in serious condition. At this point, the cause is not yet known. Mary, Jim?
Well, there are more personnel changes in the Trump administration. Questions being raised about Mick Mulvaney's support for the president just after he was named acting chief of staff. ABC's Tara Palmieri has details on a video that recently surfaced.
This morning, new questions about the loyalty of President Trump's pick for chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney. The director of the Office of Management and Budget abruptly appointed to the role Friday night. But within hours of being named, this video obtained by ABC News surfacing.
Do I like Donald Trump? No. Was he a role model for my sons? Absolutely not.
The former Republican congressman of South Carolina blasting then-candidate Trump just days before the 2016 election.
Yes, I'm supporting Donald Trump. I'm doing so as enthusiastically as I can, given the fact I think he's a terrible human being.
Mulvaney's spokesperson said in a statement the remarks were, quote, old news and had been made before he had met Mr. Trump, adding, quote, he likes and respects the president and believes in the president. Mulvaney was named after a week-long search in which two candidates, the vice president's chief of staff Nick Ayers and former New Jersey governor and ABC News contributor Chris Christie, backed out.
We're interviewing people now for chief of staff.
How long is the shortlist now?
5 people, really good ones, terrific people, mostly well-known.
Mulvaney will be the third person to occupy the role of chief of staff in less than 2 years. At the same time, another sudden staffing shakeup. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke stepping down before the new year. Zinke faced a flurry of investigations, a possible conflict of interest involving a real estate deal in his home state, pricey charter flights where in some cases his wife traveled with him, in government vehicles, boats, and even on Air Force One. In some cases, he had been cleared. Acknowledging his situation in a tweet, Zinke said, quote, "I cannot justify spending thousands of dollars defending myself and my family against false allegations."
That was Tara Palmieri reporting, And for millions of Americans, the deadline for Obamacare, it ended last night. Here in California, though, the deadline is not until January 15th. This after a federal judge in Texas struck down the act on Friday, ruling that its individual mandate requiring most people buy health insurance is unconstitutional. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services sent out an email to millions of Americans yesterday, trying to allay concerns that the court's decision would not affect open enrollment. Democrats say that they'll appeal the decision all the way to the Supreme Court if it comes to that. The American Medical Association says that if the court upholds the ban, it could mean an abrupt end to health care for millions.
An activist group is bringing hundreds of wrapped gifts to children in a migrant shelter in Tijuana. This all happened yesterday morning at Carita's shelter, the Minority Humanitarian Foundation organizing the event. There were about 50 kids and 100 adults. Kids received a new backpack with a set of new pajamas and some chocolate. The families were also given groceries and toiletries.
Your text messages are safe, rest assured. California is not going to put a tax on them. That proposal has been withdrawn. This comes after the FCC ruled that texting is an information service, not a telecommunication service. So that limits the state from having any kind of authority over it. The proposed surcharge would have helped support programs that make phone service accessible to those who live in poverty.
The 3 contractors paid to help clean up the campfire burn zone have been fired after offensive pictures posted online sparked outrage from the Paradise community. Photos were posted on Facebook showing several workers on burned out property, mocking the destruction that they were being paid to clean up. The posts also include offensive captions. Paradise police are looking into whether the photos show evidence of laws being broken, such as trespassing.
And all evacuation orders have been lifted in Paradise more than a month after the devastating Camp Fire. You can see the long line of cars here. These are people waiting to get back home. For many, it'll be the first time that they have seen their property since they had to evacuate. The fire broke out November 8th, killing at least 88 people, destroying 14,000 homes in Paradise and nearby communities. The county's also giving out masks, gloves, and protective suits to reduce exposure to toxic materials. This morning, police investigating the disappearance of a Colorado mother are now bringing in heavy digging equipment, searching the property where Kelsey Barrett's fiance lives. The Woodland Park Police Department announcing a new $25,000 reward for information leading to Barrett's location or safe return. Police say Patrick Frazee is not considered a suspect or a person of interest, but they are focusing on his 35-acre plot of land for a third day.
At this point, we are considering every possibility, and I'm not willing to jump to conclusions or label people involved in this highly complex investigation.
Police believe that Frazee was the last person to speak with Barrett face-to-face. The 29-year-old mother was last seen shopping with her daughter at the grocery store Thanksgiving Day. Frazee told police that he later saw Barrett when she dropped off their daughter.
Well, you have the beach here at a bike path, and of course, one of these things really doesn't belong. That's a small plane that needed to make an emergency landing on the beach in Orange County. Pilot had been in the air for about an hour and was returning to the airport when he made the landing. Orange County Fire Authority says the pilot told them he landed in Dana Point because that plane simply lost power. Plane did land safely, but narrowly missed a couple walking on the sand.
My husband, who was closer to him and could hear better, was ducking and turning, so I ducked too.
Say it's about 100 feet behind us when I turned and looked at it, and then it was about 30 foot up over our heads as it came down.
Plane stopped at the edge of the surf, close to a troop of Boy Scouts you see here. No one was hurt, and the plane was not damaged.
Boy Scouts there when you need them. MTS is planning to fully integrate smartphones into overhauled fare system. It's a system by 2021. That's according to the Union Tribune. Transit users will be able to use their smartphones to pay for rides on buses and trolleys within 3 years. On Thursday, San Diego board members approved a roughly $38 million 10-year contract with a German technology company. The riders, they'd still be able to use a physical card under this overhaul, but they could also instantly add money to their accounts using their phone and to use the device to pay for a bus or a trolley trip.
Surfers from all over the world hitting the waves at La Jolla shores this morning.
ISA World Adaptive Surfing Championship, not for the faint of heart. It is designed for surfers with physical disabilities. Let's get to 10 News reporter Nate Holmes. Now the sun is up, a gorgeous shot behind you. It's going to be a beautiful day even though the water's cold, Nate.
The water seems to be cold. It seems to be a little cold out here, but the water doesn't seem to be bothering the surfers at all. They are actually out here in the water right now. The competition is underway. Over 120 surfers have been competing over the course of the weekend. They're coming from over 20 countries, and of course we have Team USA. Joining me is assistant coach Sean. Good morning.
Hi there, how are you?
Great. So just kind of tell us a little bit about the division that we have in the water right now. What are they doing, and how does it get tallied up?
Sure. So this is the AS3 division. This is for surfers that ride in the upright position. Most of the surfers in this division ride what's called a wave ski, and they get to use a paddle to help them catch the waves. And the judging criteria is the same across all divisions. It's essentially difficulty of maneuvers and commitment, combination of speed, power, flow, and really who can put together the best two rides during the heat.
How is Team USA doing this morning?
We're doing pretty well. So we're excited. It's going to be a nail biter of a day, but we're vying strong for Team Gold, and that's the goal.
Awesome. And then just kind of tell us, why is it so important that we have events like this for those with physical challenges to kind of showcase their talent and compete as well?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that an event like this would be really important. For these athletes, it's the chance for them to be world champions and to show that they can do things that people have said that they can't do. And that transcends to the classroom and to the workplace and the schoolyard and every other place. And another reason that's really important is when we put together a world championship event like this, it makes a pathway for the national surfing federations, all of the countries around the world, to have qualifying series, national events, so they can have a national team, which means that they have to start events at the grassroots level. So by creating a world championship event, we have to have lots more events just to get people involved all around the world. So since we started this 4 years ago, there's been a spawn of organizations, programs, and national federations involved with adaptive surfing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for talking with us this morning. And I think I am officially a member of Team USA. But the competition will be going on until about 4:30 this evening. So come on down. We have a lot of spectators just out here showing their support for the surfers out here in La Jolla Shores. Live in La Jolla, Nate Holmes, 10 News.
Now, San Diego's most accurate forecast. 10 News Pinpoint Weather, sponsored by Mission Federal Credit Union.
That was cool. We caught a real good run there. Did you notice that when we came back live?
Yeah.
That guy was cruising along there.
I was mesmerized. I was listening too, but yeah, mesmerized watching him out there.
Yeah, and it is pretty nice out there. Nate's still wearing a sweater, though, so it is still pretty cool. Right now we can see Pacific Beach. Not too many people out there just yet, but it is a beautiful shot here. Beautiful morning, 8:09 right now. Let's take a look at our current conditions across the county here. So you can see we're in the 40s in many areas: Escondido, Poway, Ramona, into the 50s there in Alpine and Jamul. Chula Vista right now at 50 degrees, La Jolla currently at 55. We are going to be dealing with above average temperatures today. Come tomorrow, we're going to be seeing more clouds and then a chance of some light showers into our overnight hours. If you like the warmer temperatures, well, you're going to like what's coming up over the next couple of days. Now in the northeast, they are dealing with this system, dumping some rain, some snow, ice here in San Diego. Again, we were talking about those clouds, expecting them to roll back in tomorrow and then into our overnight hours, Monday night into Tuesday, some light showers. We're really not going to expect too much. Anything that we pick up, trace amounts to about hundredths of an inch. Now let's go ahead right now, take a look at our forecast highs. If you are going to be heading out at all for your Sunday, into the 60s here along our coast, lower 70s in places like Escondido and in Poway. Your 7-day forecast, I was talking about those warmer temperatures. Keep in mind, high surf advisory along the coast Monday into Tuesday, and then we are going to warm up into the mid 70s there along the coast by Thursday. Inland valleys, your eyes are not deceiving you, lower 80s there by Thursday as high pressure starts to push back in. Up in the mountains, much cooler over the next few days. The deserts here, the lower 70s.
Rudolph turns his nose off when he flies through this area, you know? I mean.
I know. It's going to be a lot of changes here over the next few days.
Okay, we'll find out.
Nice.
Thank you very much.